How organised are you?
Well, week 3, mindfulness. Yay! Um, but before we get onto mindfulness, you can let me know um, how it was for you this week. So how was the mantra? Did you do it? Did you like it? Did you not like it? I'll start with you, Sam.
Yeah, it was perfect for my little session before work when I'm at work. That 5 minutes I can just grab. It was perfect for that. And normally I do a guided one off that insight timer, but it's been nice to just be with me.
Yeah, okay. Nice little short one. Barbie?
Yeah, now I found this was really good in the mornings for just kind of settling my brain down. So I've managed to concentrate a lot better this week, which is really great.
Fantastic. Beatrice, did you do it at all?
I did do it, but a bit random, different times of the day because it has been a very unusual week. But no, I did it, and I did try the mantra, and the mantra was "I am."
Oh, you did your own thing.
Yes. Well,
Oh,
I do a mantra.
yeah, no, that's
I
great.
think it was a mantra,
That
but
is a mantra, yeah.
it did work.
Good. Um, Liz?
Um, what I really liked was kind of starting with the breathing. So it was like starting with the week before and then moving on
Mm.
to the mantra. I liked that mix. And yeah, did some following you and some on my own. And yeah, I've kind of integrated it into my morning and evening routine a little bit.
Excellent. Yeah, I think the thing with it, starting with the breath, I think that most meditations can do with starting with the breath because that
Mm,
kind of grounds you first. And it's from that point because you can always, wherever you are in any meditation, you can always come back to your breath. It's the perfect starting point.
mm.
I know Lucy's done loads of meditation this week, but I wanted to find out, did you do different kinds of meditation or did you make them longer or what did you do?
Yeah, I have had an awesome time this long weekend. I feel I've been sucking in energy and going into a different zone. I have done the breathing. Mostly, you're right, doing the breathing first is the easiest way, isn't it? I also did I am, which turns into yamai and all sorts of things in your head. I did some mindful meditation lying in a big field listening to skylarks. I was a little bit worried that someone might call me an ambulance because I was lying prostate in this field, this random field. But I just had a wonderful weekend, losing my head, if you see what I mean,
Oh,
losing my head in all the best ways.
that's
So
lovely. So just experimenting, trying
yeah,
everything out. That's brilliant. Okay, well, the good thing is, so we're going to revisit mantra, and we're using I am, but we're using the Sanskrit version, which is Sat Nam, and actually means I am truth. And the reason, though, the British School of Meditation does not encourage you to use Sanskrit words with your beginner courses, but I think that's a whole load of nonsense. Because I think that using a word or a sound that isn't English is actually probably better because you're more aware of the vibration and the resonance rather than the meaning. Um, so. So, ignoring all advice as usual, we're going to meditate to the mantra Sat Nam, which I know that you're all familiar with anyway. So, if you want to get yourself comfortable, close your eyes, um, or just place your gaze on a non-moving spot. This could be the wall or the floor. Just choosing the option which feels best for you. So, be aware of the space that you're in, the space you occupy. Aware of your body and the surface it's resting on. So allow the surface to hold you. You're safe and supported in this moment. Allow yourself to relax and let go. Allowing yourself to fully arrive in your body. And then maybe start to take in the sounds around you. The sounds coming and going of their own accord. So letting the sounds be there. They're forming the backdrop to your meditation experience. In your own time and in your own way, take a deep breath in and then release it when you're ready. Nice, long, slow, deep breath in and then exhaling out the nose or the mouth. Let's do that one more last time. So inhaling, filling the belly, ribs, chest, and then exhaling, letting it all go. Now bringing your attention to your breath. Just allowing your attention to focus on the natural breath. Knowing that wherever you go during this meditation, if you need to, you can always return to your breath. Feel the sensation of the air moving in and out of your nostrils. Feel how the breath moves the body from the inside out. The rise of the belly on the inhale and the fall of the belly on the exhale. And for this practice, we're going to use the mantra Sat Nam. So just begin to repeat Sat Nam internally to yourself. Focus on the sound and feel of the words as you say them. So the sound's more important than the meaning. Allow the sound to resonate within you. And there's no right or wrong way to repeat this mantra. You can repeat it on the inhale or the exhale, or on neither. And also remember that it's okay if your mind wanders. Meditation's all about our minds wandering. Gently bringing your attention back to the sound of Sat Nam without judgment. You're doing exactly what you need to do in this moment. Continue repeating the mantra, allowing the sound to resonate within you. Just feel the vibration of the words Sat Nam as you say them. You might repeat the mantra slowly or on the in or out breath. You may repeat it at speed. You can create your own rhythm as you repeat Sat Nam over and over in your mind. Allow the mantra to become a gentle rhythm, guiding you towards a deeper sense of peace and concentration, connection. And if your mind drifts away, simply acknowledge the thought and return to the sound of Sat Nam. You can let go of Sat Nam now and just take a few cycles of natural breath. And feel the surface you're sitting on. Feel it holding you. And when you're ready, feel free to open your eyes. Ah, hello. Oh, excellent. Barbie's still awake after the first one. That's good. Okay. Okay, so how was that for you? Oh, Lucy's back. Lucy didn't want to come back. I feel bad, Lucy. I'm afraid we've only got an hour. So when I say, come back when you're ready, I didn't actually mean that. No, I feel so mean. It was horrible. I didn't want to bring you back. There's an amazing rainbow outside. I don't know if anyone else can see it, but where I am, there's an amazing. Can you see it, Barbie? Can you see it, Lucy?
No, too many trees.
All right, okay. Anyway, sorry. Back to the mantra meditation. Lucy was clearly having a lovely time, so we know that. Barbie's still awake, which is good. Liz, how was it sitting up?
Yeah, it was yes, it was good. I liked sitting up actually.
Okay. Beatrice?
It was much easier than last week when you first introduced the concept.
It was also a little bit quieter in your house probably this week.
It is quieter in my house, yes, yes.
Very good.
So,
Okay.
so I
Brilliant.
really like it.
Okay, good. And Barbie, did you practice during the week with movement?
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought you were going to. Well done. Right,
I
let's
do.
get on. Let's get on with this week. So let's see if it'll work. It worked in the last group straight away, so I'm, feeling confident. Famous last words. What can you see, people?
You.
Oh, I forgot. Well, shouldn't do that. Right. Okay. Let's start again. That didn't work. I've lost you all.
Well, we can see
We're here.
you.
All right. I can't see any of you. Okay. Right. I've got you again. Right. Let's close that. Start again. Where's that? Right. What about this time? Let's see. Oh,
Yeah.
that's going to be better.
Something is happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
screen is sharing.
Excellent. Hooray.
That's it.
Yay,
Okay.
in one.
There we go. We're on week 3. Right. So I'm going to give you the opportunity because I feel like mindfulness is something that we've all experienced at some point in meditation. I'm making assumptions. If you haven't, that's fine. But does anybody want to have a go at trying to define, give us a definition for what mindfulness is? If you don't want to, you don't have to, obviously. But if anybody wants to brave a definition,
Is it about being present in the moment?
that's perfect, Beatrice. Top of the class. Big star.
Oh, star for me.
Yeah, big star. Well done. I'll take that. We don't need any more. Okay, so here we go. This is what we're going to do this week. What is mindfulness? Well, Beatrice has already told you. Yeah, that's a huge aspect of what it is. We'll talk about types of mindfulness meditation, but actually, because you're the second class, I kind of gave a description of them all to the first class. There's no point. I'm going to describe the ones we're doing, and that's enough. And we'll revisit the other ones on another course. Origins of mindfulness. And the two mindfulness meditations we're actually going to do today, and it was really hard for me to choose because they're all brilliant. We're going to do body scan, and we're going to do labeling thoughts. I feel like we all have thoughts, and finding a way of mental noting or labeling is really, really useful. So that's what we're doing. That was a great definition, Beatrice, but let's find out what John Kabat-Zinn's got to say about the whole thing. I'm sure you've all heard of him. He's basically the person that really made mindfulness huge. Kind of a lack of spiritual mindfulness, but he made it accessible to the whole world. This is him. Mindfulness is awareness that arises through paying attention on purpose in the present moment, non-judgmentally. So the non-judgmentally thing is quite important. I'm going to give you another couple of definitions, which you may or may not go in one ear and out the other, and that's fine. So a meditation teacher called Guy Armstrong says, mindfulness is knowing that what you're experiencing while you're experiencing it. It's moment-to-moment awareness, has a quality of being in the now. There's a sense of freedom, of perspective, of being connected, not judging. So again, we've got the not judging in it. And another one I quite like, that's a bit long, is Rick Hanson, the author of The Practical Neuroscience of Buddha's Brain. And he defines it as as having good control over your attention, but the attention can be placed wherever you want. So it stays there, and when you want to move your attention to something else, you can. So I quite like that. It's you're in charge of where you place your attention. And he also adds, and this is the really important bit, I think, attention's like a spotlight, and what it illuminates streams into the mind and shapes your brain. So developing greater control over attention is the single and most powerful way to reshape the brain and thus the mind. And finally, it's always nice to end on a super short one because we're more likely to remember it. Mark Williams, he's a really big yoga teacher. Knowing directly what's going on inside and outside ourselves, moment by moment. And that's really easy to remember. And I guess the emphasis is that mindfulness is a practice, it's not a concept. We think of it as a concept because we get confused between mindfulness meditation, which is a structured, formal thing, and living mindfully. This is not, obviously they do feed into each other, but it's a meditation practice, not a concept. And it's about presence, awareness, and attitude, especially kindness and curiosity. Okay, so that's what it is. Let's do a little memory game for you, just to see who's keeping up. I don't want Beatrice getting all the stars, everyone. Okay, so week 1 we did breath, week 2 we did mantra, and these are not trick questions, by the way. So what's the focus of attention in a breath meditation?
Breath.
Yes, the breath, exactly. What's the focus of attention in a mantra meditation?
Mantra.
Yeah, the mantra, the words, the repeated word or phrase. Okay, but in a mindfulness meditation, what's the focus?
Now.
Whatever we want.
Exactly, all those things. So yeah, body, thoughts, emotions, senses. And the method or approach. So in a mantra meditation, obviously it's silently or audible, or it can be out loud, but we call that chanting. In breath, we focus on the breath every time we return when distracted. And the method or the approach for mindfulness is open, non-judgmental awareness of whatever arises. Okay, so here's your little table. There we go. Well done, everybody. Stars all round. Okay, yeah, so mindfulness is broader. So we've now moved from week 1, which was single focused awareness on one thing, to open monitoring, where it can be letting in lots of different things at the same time. Okay. And here's the thing that I'm not doing now. So here's a kind of selection of different types of mindfulness meditation with their very, very short descriptions. But we're going to talk more about body scan and mindfulness of thoughts, because they're the two we're going to concentrate on. And what I also like, but think's confusing, is I don't know whether you can remember, but love and kindness has kind of come up in every single week. I say, oh yes, it's a mantra meditation and it's a mindfulness meditation. Next week it'll be coming up all on its own as a cultivation meditation. So that's I think sometimes why meditation gets confusing, because it's not so clearly defined. Things do move around a little bit. But yeah, let's concentrate on body scan and mindfulness of thoughts. And before we get there, though, I've given you some clues. So these are the clues to the origins and spread of mindfulness meditation. Can you recognize? You may not. The first one you can all recognize. First picture.
Buddha.
Yeah, Buddha. Exactly. Second picture. You've seen him
Too
already
small on my
today.
phone.
Mark, somebody? Is that Mark Williams?
Good effort, Sam. We have seen him today, but it's not him. That's great. Good effort.
It was something. It had a zingy
Yes,
name, didn't he?
it's John Kabat-Zinn. And the
That's
bottom
it.
one, do we know?
No idea. I was on the rainbow. Sorry.
All right, okay, that's fine.
Not Dalai Lama. He's too young.
Not too young, but it's great. Yeah. This was just more quiz for fun. No points really. That's Thich Nhat Hanh. Anyway, okay, so I'll give you a little thing here. So Buddhist meditation. So mindfulness traces back to Vedic texts and early Hinduism, which is over 4,000 years ago, and Buddhist teachings, which I think begin in about the 5th century. And again, I've told you this before. These are things I I find in a thing that tells me I don't know what it means, 5th century. Somebody at some point, if you know, can explain timelines to me. It would be really handy. And the Pali term sati, translated as moment-to-moment awareness, which might have been your exact words earlier, or present moment, or Beatrice, formed the core of Buddhist practice, particularly in Vipassana meditation. And you will all know that's the kind of Buddhist word Vipassana, but actually it translates as insight. So when you do your insight timer meditation, Sam, that's why it's called insight timer, because of that's the Buddhist word for insight. And so Vipassana meditation is what we're going to be doing today. Is mindful. It's a form of mindfulness which cultivates insight through present moment awareness. Okay, so it's quite nice to know that even though Buddhist meditation kind of started in the 5th century, the core elements of it we still use today. All that's really changed, I think, is the fact that this is more spiritual, and modern day mindfulness often comes with the spirituality taken out. Or you can take it or leave it. You can put it back in if you want, obviously. Okay, global spread. Oh, yeah. So the Buddhist development. So early Buddhism systemized mindfulness as part of the Noble Eightfold Path, which is another pathway to help you avoid suffering. And it emphasized observations on thoughts, feelings, and sensations without attachment. And Theravada Buddhism preserved those practices, while Zen Buddhism kind of took it another way with Zazen meditation, which is silent meditation, and those things. It was Zen Buddhism that made its way to the USA with the Beat generation, but it still had the spirituality in it. And then came along John Kabat-Zinn, who pioneered the secularization of mindfulness in 1979 when he created mindfulness-based stress reduction, the MBSR. And he integrated Buddhist meditation techniques from Zen and Theravada traditions with Western medicine, but removed religious elements and focused kind of on the clinical stuff for chronic pain and stress. And then finally, well, maybe not finally, in the 80s and 90s, you've got Thich Nhat Hanh, who establishes Plum Village, which is a massive big center in France where they do massive teacher trainings of mindfulness for teachers, and they send them out all over the world. And it's now everywhere. It's kind of in workplace wellness programs and neuroscience and psychology. And I think I'd like to know why, but the number I got was between 200 and 500 million people are now practicing mindfulness-based meditations. But the nice thing is it still kind of remains rooted in philosophies, ancient Buddhist and Hindu philosophy. So there we go. That's how it came here. And this is what it's all about. So body scan. Does anybody want to give me say what a body scan is?
So you can work from your feet to your head, from your head to your feet, whichever way round it goes. And it's just a case of acknowledging where you're at and trying to relax it.
Perfect. Okay, so it's a mindfulness practice that reconnects you your body, and you're right. So what makes that different from a body sensation mindfulness meditation, for instance, is this is systemized and structured. Yeah, so you do, as Barbie said, you either start at the crown of your head and work down, or you start at your feet and work up, but it's completely systematic. Whereas a body sensation, which we're not doing, you basically focus on your breath, and then if something in your body feels stronger than your breath, like you maybe got a pain in your knee, then your attention wanders to your knee until something else happens in your body. So it's not so systematic, but it's aware of what's physically happening in the moment. Okay, and the purpose of a body scan? Well, yeah, to note sensations without judgment, to reduce stress, improve mind-body awareness. I was thinking about this. I just assume that we know why we want to create mind-body awareness. Anyone got any answers for that? Why would we create mind-body awareness? Why do we care?
Well, because sometimes our mind is doing weird shit and our body's trying to do something completely different, and then we just end up with this whole bloody rhythm thing going on and nothing works.
I like that mind-body shit. Yeah, or mind doing its own weird thing. Yeah, that's that. Yeah, and the purpose, I guess, another purpose of improving mind-body awareness might be to create a greater understanding of the relationship between our thoughts and emotions and physical sensations, which leads, I suppose, to better self-regulation and enhanced well-being. We sometimes don't know, that's right, we sometimes don't know that our body's hurting because our minds are doing strange things. We sometimes feel things in our body because because things are happening in our head, and vice versa.
And also, we kill our emotions, don't we? We kind of like hide them, pretend they're not there, think of something completely different, all of that rubbish. And we ought to just engage with it, sit with it, and work through it.
Very good. Yes, exactly that. Thanks, Barbie. Also, probably worth pointing out is we often think of body scans as relaxations, and whilst they are often relaxing for people, they're not actually relaxation. For some people, they can be very painful and uncomfortable, but just thought that might be worth pointing out. I mean, I personally generally find them really relaxing. And the other thing is quite often body scans can be done lying down, which is which is probably why I used to like them so much, because they were the first ones they were done lying down, usually in bed. Okay, so shall we? Oh no, there's one more before we actually do the body scan. And even though I just said about they don't necessarily make you feel calm, we practice them because they help us to reduce stress and anxiety, often good for improving sleep quality. And we sort of mentioned this already, but help us to recognize how emotions manifest physically. So, tight shoulders might be because you're really super uptight and worried and anxious. Okay. And finally, I'm pretty sure you know how to do a body scan, but I'm going to just tell you because this makes it nice and simply. We get comfortable, we breathe deeply, we're going to scan our body. I think we scan from head to toe today, but quite often we do toe to head. And then we'll kind of notice whatever sensations we feel in the present moment. So we want to kind of really create a direct experience of what's happening right now. So without further ado, shall we find, maybe you might choose to lie down, maybe you sit up, it's up to you. Can't find the meditation now, I don't know what I've done with it.
It's all right. I'm quite comfortable. It's all about the lying down today.
Okay. Well, you might be lying down a long time because I can't actually find the body scan. Can't have gone far. Oh, here it is. Okay. So just get yourself very comfortable. We're going to scan the entire body from top to bottom as a way of getting centered and as a reminder that you can be at home in your body. And just feel the floor or the bed or the couch or your chair supporting you. And relax into the support. Bring your attention to your back. When you feel a spot that's tense or resisting, take a deep breath and relax. And if during your body scan you detect sensation that's pleasant, you may feel an urge to hang on to it. And if so, relax, open up, and see if you can be with the sensation of pleasure without clinging. If you detect a sensation that's painful, you may reflexively try to push it away. You may feel angry about it or afraid of it. And if you spot any of these reactions, see if you can release them. Come back to the direct experience of the moment. So what's the actual sensation of the pain or the pleasure? Feel it directly without interpretation or judgment. Bring your attention to the top of your head and simply feel whatever sensations are there. So tingling or itching, pulsing. Or perhaps you notice an absence of sensation. Very slowly, let your attention move down in the front of your face. Be aware of whatever you encounter. Tightness, relaxation, pressure, whether pleasant, painful, or neutral. Sensations in your forehead, nose, mouth, cheeks. Is your jaw clenched or loose? Turn your attention to your eyes and feel the weight of your eyelids. The movement of the eyeballs and their sockets. The brush of the lashes. Feel your lips. The light pressure of skin on skin. Softness. Moisture. Coolness. You needn't name these things, just feel them. And if you can, try to step out of the world of concept like eyelid or lips and into the world of direct sensation. So intimate, immediate, alive, and ever-changing. Turn your attention to the top of your head and then move down the back of the head, over the curve of your skull. Notice your neck, Any knots or sore spots, any tension. Once again, return to the top of the head and then move your attention down the sides, feeling your ears, the sides of your neck, the tops of your shoulders. And you don't have to judge the sensations or trade them in for different ones. Just feel them. Slowly move your awareness down your upper arms, feeling the elbows, the forearms. Let your attention rest for a moment. Let your attention rest now on your hands, the palms, the backs. See if you can feel each separate finger, each fingertip. Bring your attention back to the neck and throat. Slowly move it down the chest, noticing any sensations you find there. Keep moving your attention downward to the rib cage. And the belly. Your awareness is gentle and receptive. You're not looking for anything special, but rather staying open to whatever feelings you might find. You don't have to do anything about them. You're just noticing them. Return your attention to the neck. And now let your awareness move down the back of your body to your shoulder blades. Mid-back. The lower back. And you may feel stiffness or tension or creakiness or quivering or something else. Whatever you encounter, simply notice it. And now bring your attention to the pelvic area and see what sensations you feel here. Slowly move your awareness down your thighs. Your knees. Your calves. And all the way down your legs. Feeling the ankles. And then send your attention to your feet, to the soles of the feet, the tops of the feet, and all 10 toes. Can you feel each toe separately? Now see if you can hold the whole body in complete awareness, from the crown of the head to the tips of your toes. And gently let go of the body and bring yourself back to feeling whatever surface is supporting you. Back to your breath. And slowly and gently, when you're ready, you can begin to open your eyes. Now, what a lovely smile, Sam. So sweet, and Barbie's still with us, which is good. Ah, hello. I don't know whether Lucy's coming back or not. Oh, she is. She's fine. Oh, it's so mean, Lucy. Okay, so how was that, everybody? Oh, someone's chatting. Who's saying? No, it's not the wrong that Rainbow was taking your attention. It took mine as well, Barbie. It was amazing.
Yeah, I was failing to concentrate at all at the beginning, but never mind.
So how was
That was lovely.
Yeah. Did it feel very different, a mindfulness meditation to a mantra or to breathing?
I feel
Yeah, I
quite
think it was.
spaced out.
Yeah.
So in that case, is that another word of saying it was quite relaxing for you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So despite what I said, it's not a relaxation. It was actually quite relaxing for you and Beatrice anyway.
And me. Yeah.
And me too. I don't know. I've always feel like really alive on a body scan. 'Cause it's like you can feel you. It's lovely.
Is it quite intense because it can spotlight on different?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Great.
Yeah, I get temperature changes as well, so that's really weird, isn't it?
So it's just amazing all the different things that you all notice, probably very different things, different feelings, different. Yeah. That's exciting. Right. Next, I'm very aware of the time. So moving on, the minute you see this, I'm sure you recognize this. We'll have all heard of the monkey mind. So we're about to move on to mindfulness of thoughts, and a particular kind of mindfulness of thoughts. And this is purely because I really like this. This works for me, so I hope it works for you. It might not. Yeah, so we know our minds are like monkeys, super busy, restless, jumping from thought to thought, and this is normal. Buddhists often refer to our thinking mind as a wild monkey which swings from stories to fantasies to dramas. And we know the monkey mind's restless, out of control, and inconsistent. Does this sound familiar to all of you?
Yep.
Some of our thoughts are more out of control than others, I know. But if it makes you feel any better, this makes me feel better. It's no wonder we have so many thoughts all the time, because we think between 60 to 80,000 thoughts per day. So you know what, if your mind wanders when you're meditating, it's hardly a surprise. And most of those thoughts are repetitive. So basically we're boring and banal, and also liars, because they're not true either. So we have all these thoughts, and we believe in the stories and the fantasies that we tell ourselves, the narrative that we spin. But actually so much of what we tell ourselves is a whole load of nonsense. Okay, so we're going to be doing labeling thoughts. And why would we bother labeling our thoughts? I'm just assuming that you know what that means. So basically, in a labeling thought meditation, what we do is we start with the breath, and then of course your mind will wander away. And instead of you just bringing it back to the breath, what you're going to do is look at that thought and say, well, you can either say just thinking, or acknowledging that you had a thought, or you can systemize it a little bit more by labeling the thought more specifically. However, don't start getting wound up in all finding the right word. Don't bother finding the right word, finding a word quickly. And if you start to worry about it, just say thinking. But you could be, oh, it'd be really nice to be on a nice holiday somewhere. We call it that could be daydreaming. Or we could be worrying about something, or so worrying, panicking, judging. So there's different ways we can label our thoughts. So that's what I mean when I talk about labeling our thoughts. It's a way of systemizing them. Anyway, the reason for doing that is it creates space between you and your thoughts, which reduces your emotional reactivity. And it also helps us to recognize our mental patterns, which is quite useful. So perhaps you might be someone lucky enough just to have lots of nice thoughts of daydreaming, and you might notice that to be one of your mental habits. Whereas you might be less lucky and have lots of thoughts that you have to call worrying. And yeah, you might see that might be more of a mental habit, or you might get a surprise about the kind of thoughts you're having. But probably the most important thing to say here is you're not your thoughts. And it helps us to remind, this kind of meditation helps to remind us of that. So they're just passing weather, and labeling these is like watching the clouds instead of being swept up in them. Okay, so, and I found a nice little, yes, the sky is a really nice metaphor for labeling thoughts. So you can imagine that your mind is like a vast sky, wide and open and spacious. And the sky itself, of course, is calm and steady no matter what happens. And you just think about your thoughts as clouds drifting across the sky. And sometimes the clouds are fluffy and lovely, full of daydreams, and sometimes they're dark and stormy, full of worry and panic and whatever other horrible things are going on. But they come and go, and they change shape and size, but they never change the sky. It's just the thoughts. They're like mental events. They come and go, they pass through. And what we're going to do is label them. So that's the point of labeling them, creating space, reducing that emotional reactivity, and finding out about our thought patterns. Okay, and just a very, very quick. I love the name it to tame it. I think that's a Buddhist expression, name it to tame it, and I really like it. So, right, so labeling. It actually activates our prefrontal cortex, which is the CEO of the brain. So it's like training a muscle, and it improves our focus and our rational thinking, helping us to step back from impulsive reactions. Though I'm looking at all of you thinking, actually, what a lovely group of unimpulsive reacting people here. So I'm really speaking to myself. So naming emotions is like a cheat code for clear thinking. So what else it does is stress less, amygdala calming. So at the same time, as if your prefrontal cortex is your brain's CEO, your amygdala is your brain's alarm system. So when you label a feeling, it's like saying to the amygdala, it's okay, we see this, we're handling it. And this reduces the anxiety and reactivity, give you a bit of emotional breathing space. And finally, this probably doesn't apply to us. Maybe, is anyone studying right now? Sam, you used to? No, you finished, haven't you? No, okay. Well,
I've got exams coming next month.
brilliant. Perfect for you then, Barbie. I knew we could find someone to make it relevant to. But we have all studied, and no doubt we'll study again or know someone who's studying. But basically, by practicing these techniques, you enhance both your focus and your emotional intelligence. Key ingredients, apparently, for academic success. So labeling reduces mind wandering, and it cultivates more balanced, resilient mindset. So, I mean, this is a stupid rhetorical question, really. Have you ever snapped at someone when stressed, then regretted it? Yes, exactly. Labeling can prevent those moments. Even Lucy's probably snapped at someone before.
Of course.
Right.
So I don't believe that.
No, it's hard to believe. Okay, this is how we do it. Basically, you notice. So you start with your breath. Your mind wanders off. You notice, and you're either going to just say thinking if you just want to make it super easy for yourself, or you can try and classify what type of a thought it is, but don't give it too much space, and then you return to your breath. So there's no need to analyze. Just name and release. That's the point. And just one quick thing, I don't know whether this is helpful or not. What can you label? Well, you can label anything, but you know, past and future, regretting, anticipating, all your emotions, frustrated, happy, disappointed, angry, jealous, and neutral things as well, thinking, wondering. So this is quite good further down the line to help with kind of more difficult thoughts as well. So you can take this further. So this is the first step. So let's get on with labeling our thoughts. Let's stop that. Okay. So again, choose a comfortable position, sitting, lying, on a chair, on a cushion. And be aware of your body making contact with the surface that it's on. Allow yourself to be held so you can rest in your experience. You may be aware of the sounds around you, the temperature of the space you're in, smells. Allow them all to be there without judging. And let's begin by taking a full breath in and out. Before letting your breath settle down into its own natural rhythm. Just noticing your breath as it comes in and out of your body. And you can focus your attention wherever you want in your body. So perhaps feeling the sensation of your breath on your upper lip, or on the tip of your nose. Or you might notice the movement of your breath taking its journey through your nostrils, into your lungs. You might notice your lungs expanding or deflating. You may be aware of the muscle movements of the chest wall or your belly. And if you prefer, you can always label your breath, aware of my breath coming in, aware of my breath going out. Just allow yourself to get behind one breath at a time, feeling the rhythm of the breath coming in and going back out. For our meditation, we're going to see what it's like to observe our thoughts. And we can do this with a technique known as mental noting or labeling, giving them a name. It's a method that provides support to our thinking brain to stay in the moment, as well as uncovering any patterns in the types of thoughts we're having. So let's just be with our breath for now, aware of my breath coming in, aware of my breath going out. And it won't be long before you start to notice yourself becoming distracted. Mind will be wandering away from your breath. The thoughts will come knocking, remembering, daydreaming, planning or worrying. And this is not a sign you can't meditate, but the nature of the current moment. And so when you realize you've been distracted, you can always give it a label, thinking, and then come back to your breath. Aware of my breath coming in, aware of my breath going out. It's a bit like staring at a beautiful blue sky and watching the clouds go by. Your mind is the blue sky, and your thoughts are like the white clouds. They're visitors, and you are the observer. And if you find yourself on the cloud with a thought, you can greet it by name. You can say hello, hello thought, hello past, hello future. Greeting your thoughts with a name, acknowledging them and saying hello, but not getting caught up on a full-on conversation. There'll be other thoughts to welcome. Hello planning. Hello frustration. Hello discomfort. Desire. Like categorizing books in a library. The fiction, non-fiction, adult, children. Sorting your thoughts at this high level, but not opening any covers to get involved in the stories. So just giving each thought the first name that pops into your head and letting it go so that you can return to focus on your breath. Aware of my breath coming in, aware of my breath going out. And there may be other thoughts. You may choose to label all thoughts as thoughts, or you may prefer to greet each thought by name. Hello worry. Hello problem solving. Hello fantasy. Hello restlessness. Feeling present in this moment. Allowing the moment to be as it is. And noticing how each moment arises, develops, and passes on by. And remembering a thought is just a thought. It's not who you are. It's just visiting. Label it as thinking and return to your breath. Aware of my breath coming in, aware of my breath going out. And now bring your awareness back to your body, resting on the surface it's being supported by. feeling into this support. Feeling your breath at your nostrils. And when you're ready, we can end this meditation by opening our eyes. Okay. Barbie's not back. Barbie, are you with us? Ah, she is there. Okay. Okay. Right, you can all unmute yourself now. You can tell me how that was. Was it easy? Was it difficult?
A little bit more challenging, that one. I don't think I've ever done one of those before.
Or maybe not. I might have done that in a very short way at the end of yoga in the morning, but maybe we just thoughts. But I think there is a lot more to it, isn't there?
Yeah.
So how was it?
I did it quite a lot. I did Headspace for a while, a few years ago, and I did it then. I actually found it easier today, but my feet were really fidgety.
Oh.
So my clouds kept going past saying uncomfortable, uncomfortable.
It's perfect. It sounds perfect. Yeah, uncomfortable will do. At least that definitely passing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Very good. What about you, Beatrice?
Well, I really like it. I used to try to do meditation with my son when he was younger, and it was our favorite was this one called Be the Pond, and the concept was that you had to observe your thoughts at your feelings passing by, and those were the fish, but they were not defying you because you were the pond.
Yeah.
The fish
It's
would
the
just pass.
same metaphor, really, isn't it? Yeah.
So no, I really like it.
Yeah, me too. Sam? Oh, you said that you liked it, but it's more challenging. Yeah. Yeah, well, first time, more practice for us all. What about you, Lucy? Because did you do that at the Buddhist place, I wonder?
Not specifically, no. But I have done that before. I found myself future planning popping in.
Yes.
Yeah. Mine were
That
all
was
planning.
like, no,
Planning.
leave those.
Planning.
But I'm not surprised
Planning.
about that with you, Barbie. I'm more surprised about Lucy planning. Sounds very useful, Lucy.
Whereas for me, it was a lot about going back to the weekend.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Oh,
That's lovely.
ruminating.
The
Nostalgia.
last weekend.
It was a good weekend to go back.
It was a good weekend. So yeah, that
Michelle,
came a lot.
sorry, Michelle, I know I've ignored you, but I don't know whether it's because I'm supposed to ignore you. I'm never, yeah. How was that for you?
They're all quite difficult for me, to be honest, but then it's all so new to me. Like, I've never really done anything like this. So yeah, it's good to try the different things. I think I just need to keep practicing them.
Absolutely. And the thing is, you might have one that you just feel like resonates with you more than others. And actually, I think it's perfectly okay to stay with the breath for I think I did the breath for years. And it's still my go-to meditation. But if there's another one that you kind of like, feel resonates, if you just practice that one a lot. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot to take in, and yeah, practice is key. Just keep practicing. And this week you're going to I've recorded a body scan, and I've also recorded a walking meditation. So they're the two for the week. They have got longer. The body scan is, I think, about 10 or 12 minutes. Someone complained it was too short this week, which I thought was funny because obviously, the idea is that I mean you can do it for longer if you like, but it's also nice not to feel overwhelmed by the burden of having to do something for a long time every day when you're busy. So yeah, feel free to improvise. It'll all be coming your way. Any questions before we go? I realize that we're running over, but no.
Oh, I wanted to ask if when you say to lower your eyes to a point, I wondered if anybody does that, because I always shut my eyes. And I wondered if people do actually focus on something.
It's a great question. In this group,
No.
No.
I tried it today. My eyes just shut automatically.
yeah, same for me, Liz. So there's some the Buddhist meditation, the Zen Buddhist meditation you're supposed to do with your eyes open.
Oh,
I find it impossible because I just want to close my eyes. I think a lot of people, the people that soften their gaze, are people that feel vulnerable to close their eyes.
Mm.
I think it's
okay.
kind of taking them in. I think that's the
Yeah.
idea, not to assume that we all like the same things, but I think most people close their eyes. Yeah, it's also the reason why in breath meditation you give different places in the body for people to focus, because some people, are really uncomfortable with even thinking about their belly, or for instance, or so there you go. Good question.
Well, I have a candle because I wanted to try to focus on the candle, but I think I prefer to close my eyes.
Yeah.
But that's also a completely separate meditation as well. It's also saying you can do a bit of candle gazing, Beatrice. You can try that.
Next week.
Well, not yeah, on your own. We're not
On
doing
my
it
own.
yet.
Yes,
On your
on my own. Yes, yes, true.
Okay. Oh. Well, that's it. Have you got no more
Thank
questions?
you.
Oh,
Thank you. Thank you.
oh, I feel sad to say good night. Well
Thank
done,
you very
everyone.
much. Night,
Well
night.
done for
Sweet
staying
dreams.
awake, everyone. Bye.